Hello, hello, welcome. So my name is Chakra Rose, and I'm so excited to be here in this absolutely stunning space here in Aspen, Colorado at the Aspen Shakti Yoga Studio. Today I am presenting this 20-minute practice that has been customized and created to be a morning daily flow. I invite you to join me and to activate this flow for yourself as many days in a row as you can to gain the best possible benefits from this practice. I am focusing on hip opening, heart opening, and breath. Also that the movements aren't as complex and as deep as some classes may present, mainly because we recognize that our bodies are a little rigid and a little tense. So really the hopes are in this morning flow that you are able to open up and connect to set forth a beautiful tone for your day. I have brought over a couple of blocks. And so that is recommended for this practice as we do get deep into the hips. If blocks are not available for you at this time, you can find something that's a similar width, about 4 inches across, maybe a big book or a couple of books that you can bring to the top of your mat space, and that can serve as a replacement for the actual blocks. Definitely make it something sturdy so that when you press your weight down into it, it's not going to have you fall over or off of it because it's wobbly on either side or either edge. Hence is why it's a block. But yeah, so finding the best possible thing that can simulate this experience, this will be very, very, very helpful. Also, it's possible to do this practice without blocks. And even so, they are very supportive. So eventually you might want to get some. All right, let's begin. So coming to the middle of your mat space and then finding the top of your mat and placing those blocks there. Come to your back. And I'm going to give you 3 separate options with your legs to begin. So the first option will be full on Shavasana, where the toes are slightly folded out, palms are open and receiving. And you begin to melt the back body into the mat, just feeling grounding and feeling centering as the first pose of this practice. Other options would be to also feel free to find Supta Baddha Konasana, where you bring the soles of your feet together and the knees fall out. This particular position allows you to open up through the inner thighs and create some space in your hip flexors. You'll feel a little bit of compression on the lower back, so just check in and decide if this feels really good in your body to hold and stay for a few more breaths. Option 3 is to find Daydreamer's pose, where you close the knees like a book and open up the feet to the wide edges of your mat space. This creates internal rotation in your thighs. And that helps to align for people that are very, very active and are feeling maybe some compression in the backs of their hips. This will alleviate that compression and pressure and help encourage your leg bones to fold inward. So you have 3 options, and just decide which option feels best for you in this moment. I'm going to choose Shavasana today. Let's take a couple of moments to ground and center through our breath. Inhale through the nose. And exhale down the back. And begin a little visualization here as you inhale through the nose. Imagine the air is going up through the third eye. And on the exhale, it cascades down your back from the skull all the way down to your heels and creates this circular prana effect. As you bring attention, focus, and breath to all parts of your body. Feeling the rise and fall of your chest. At this time, if you have access to a device and want to place some music in your space for you to flow to, this would be a great time to grab that device and put it on for yourself now. I'm going to keep my space free of music so you can hear the cues. But anything that feels motivating, soft, positive, and somewhat relaxing, go ahead and put that on now. As you come back to your mat, go ahead and take the same position that you were in. And now meet me here in Shavasana. On your next inhale, take your arms up overhead, point the toes. And take a nice full body stretch. Take your wrists to the top left corner of your space and take your ankles to the bottom left corner of your space. Finding a nice side stretch here. Breathe into the right side. Beautiful. And if you need a little bit more stretch on your hip bone, you can take your right ankle and cross it over the top of the left for 2 more breaths. And uncross and come back to center. Let's take it to the other side. Your wrists come to the top right corner of your mat and the ankles come to the bottom right corner of your mat. And breathe. If you did so on the other side, place your left ankle over the right for a deeper stretch. And 2 breaths. Beautiful. Come back to the center. Draw your knees into your chest. Tuck your hips underneath you. Give yourself a hug. Squeeze the knees nice and deep so you feel the lower back press down into the earth. And go ahead and tuck your chin as well so that you feel connection from the base of your neck all the way down to your tailbone. And then begin to create little circles with the knees over to the right. Finding a nice massage in the backs of the hips. About 5 rotations. Then unwind and go the other direction. As you come back to the center, then take your knees in opposite movement directions, and you can kind of flow and play with where your knees go. So activating through the sacral chakra, opening up through all parts of the hips. And if you're just at home, just allow yourself to play a little bit. It's not often that we get to experience this movement. And then come back to center. Take your knees into your heart. Nice squeeze. Inhale. And on the exhale, slide your hands on the insides of the knees. Here we'll begin to rock and roll up and down your mat. Take a couple of rocks and a couple of rolls. And take it so much that you feel a nice massage up and down the spine. And when you feel complete, you can cross your ankles, plant your hands, and hop it back or step it back to hands and knees. Step your wrists right underneath your shoulders. Take a moment to find a little cat-cow movement to really wake up the spine. Exhale, cat. And inhale, cow. Beautiful, come back to the center. Extend your left leg back, pressing the ball of the foot down into the earth. Press back on the hands and the wrists, get a nice back of the right leg stretch. And then rock your weight forward so your shoulders are over your wrists. Drop your hip down slightly and then activate through the front of your leg so you feel your quadricep and a flex in your toes. Let's move between the two as we exhale, press back. And inhale, come forward. And exhale, press back. And inhale, come forward. Good. Do one more cycle here. And then sweep the leg up from the floor. And then draw your navel in so you can straighten your spine perpendicular to your mat. And then cross over to the outside of the right edge of your mat. Take your gaze back beyond your toes, looking back and creating a deeper stretch on the left side. Good, releasing the foot from there, coming up all the way around and through, and draw your knee underneath you. Let's take a nice child's pose for a moment. Squaring out the hips, ground your forehead to the earth, and take this next couple of breaths in a moment to bring an intention or an affirmation to your heart. I am worthy. I am strong. I am focused. I am present. When you feel complete, come back up through the center and extend your right leg back behind you. Follow the foot down into the earth. Press back on the heel to get a nice back of the leg stretch. Pressing into the heels of the hands. And inhale, rock your weight forward, shoulders over the wrists. Take a moment to drop your right hip down and to feel the activation on the front side of your leg from your quads all the way through the flex in your toes. Press it back, exhale, and inhale, come forward. Press it back, exhale, and inhale, come forward. A couple more with your breath and flow to your movement. Good, and when you feel complete, draw your shoulders over your wrists. Take your leg up from the earth. Take a moment to exhale, draw your navel in. Find a parallel position of your leg to the mat. You're just adjusting there. Yep, beautiful. Deep breath in. And exhale, cross it over to the left side. And sweep back, look back beyond your toes. Continue the stretch. Squeeze in through your inner thighs. It's a beautiful posture to open up the outer hips. Good, inhale, draw the leg up from the floor, and exhale back underneath you, child's pose. On the next inhale, come up through tabletop and prepare for downward facing dog as you tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back. And make your way to a beautiful downward facing dog where you start to open up through the back body. Take your hips all the way up to the sky. You can soften your knees as you need to and keep the lift in your spine. Take a nice breath here and open the heart more towards the earth as you separate in your shoulders, creating a width from your biceps to your ears, drawing the shoulders down the back, letting the head and neck go. And then last and final piece, draw your rib cage in so it's nice and in traction with your navel and your hips. Let's start to walk out the dog as you pump the knees forward and draw each heel back. Feeling a little shift in your hips, side to side. And continue that movement side to side, taking a gentle walk to your hands. Go ahead and fold deeply in your knees and find a nice deep forward fold. Draping your spine over your thighs, let your head, neck, and shoulders go. And allow the weight of your body to pull your body down. So we're creating more and more traction in between the cervical spine and your lower back. Release your hands to the earth and take a moment to roll up. Unfurling the spine. Let your head, neck, and shoulders be last to rise. Inhale. Tadasana pose, sweeps your arms all the way. Nice, exhale, step toes and ankles to touch. And lower down. Inhale, rise the arms once again. And then find palm center over your head. Take a deep breath in, reach high. Exhale, bring your body to the left for a side bend. Staying for a couple of breaths, find a beautiful positioning where you're opening up your throat chakra, lifting your chin slightly from your chest. And then pull the top shoulder back and open up through the heart chakra. Take a nice inhale as you pull up and over. And exhale, come down a little deeper as you send your hips out to the side. On the next inhale, come back up through center. And make your way to the other side. Good, spending a few breaths here. Go ahead and lift your chin away from your chest. Open up the throat chakra. Pull the top shoulder up and back, opening up through your heart chakra. And stay for the breath as you extend a little bit deeper, feeling the hips come out towards the side. Use your core center to come up to the sky. Send your hips forward and open up through your chest first, blossoming up through the heart chakra. Lift your sternum point to the sky, and just a gentle back bend. Also opens up through your throat. Connect your biceps to your ears. Inhale, rise back up. And then keep your biceps connected to your ears. As you send your hips back, come through long spine. Connect your rib cage to your thighs. Reach down, fingertips to the earth. And come back, give yourself a hug. As you give yourself a hug, you can keep your knees bent as you tuck your nose into your knees. This first round is about really making the connection from the upper body to the lower body. And if you can straighten the knees slightly, play with that. Right from here, release your fingertips to the earth. Inhale, slide up the front sides of the legs, half lift. Soften your knees, place your hands on the earth. Exhale, hop, step, or float back to high plank. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, chaturanga down. Take your body all the way to the earth, nice and slow. Find a cobra pose here as you squeeze elbows to the torso. Use your chest to lift up. Use your back strength. Keep a 90-degree angle in your arms. You're not pushing too high, but really working on pulling shoulders back beyond the spine. Deep breath in. And exhale, lower body back down. Nose to the earth. Slide your fingertips so they're right underneath the shoulders. Squeeze your elbows to your torso. Tuck your toes underneath you. Let's find a push-up position. Inhale here. Exhale, push. Downward facing dog. Find another breath. You inhale, lift your hips high. Exhale, let it sigh. Open up your heart to the earth. We'll walk to the hands and take this flow a little bit quicker. Moving from breath into movement. Take a forward fold. Unfurl your spine as you inhale to rise. Step toes and ankles to touch. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale, other side. Inhale, back up through center. Exhale, take a nice back bend. Inhale, reach high, connect your biceps to your ears. Exhale, full circle, fold down. Reach behind you, give yourself a hug. This time, maybe you're able to straighten your knees a little bit more. Sweep fingertips to the earth. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, soften down, plant the hands, high plank. Deep breath in, chaturanga. Inhale, this time you can come through to up dog, where you lengthen your arm bones and reach your hips up from the mat, or you can stay in our previous cobra. And exhale, roll over the feet, downward facing dog. Take a nice breath here, and let it go. Inhale, right leg opens up to the sky, three-legged dog. I'd like to encourage you to lift the leg as high as it feels open, to get into the inner thighs, to feel the power of your stretch. Now let's find alignment here. So take the outer edge of your right hip and square it with your left. This will encourage your hip bone to come down, so therefore your leg will come down. Squaring your hips to your mat, inhale. And exhale, draw the knee through up and towards your chest. And then connect the foot down to a low lunge. So you can take your hand, pull up your ankle and place it right where your hand was. Now you want to tuck your knee into the shoulder so that your arms and shoulders frame the front foot. So you want to make sure it's right in alignment here. You also can feel this knee tucked into your shoulder. This is where the blocks come in handy. So you can place the blocks underneath your shoulders and feeling nice and stable and straight in your spine. And spending a couple moments here as you extend back through the inner point of your heel. Connect and anchor through the front heel down into the earth. And just feel that strength in your body. And drop the back knee down and take the top of the foot down. So you're gonna let your hips drop a little bit more to really open through the hip flexors. Pull the shoulders back. And as you feel stable and connected here in your hips and in your lower body, release your hands from the block, interlace them on the top of your knee. Now draw the navel in to create even more depth in that stretch. Creating traction now with your spine, you're going to send your hips back, push your knee forward, coming to 90-degree angles in your legs. So push it back, send your knee forward, hollow out through your chest. So feeling nice and firm in this positioning. So here I can actually even walk my front foot back a little bit so my heel's right underneath my knee. Making that adjustment. Release hands down by the sides. Take arms up with an inhale. Oh, and actually I need this block here. So I'm going to take this block underneath the right hand, ground it nice and tall, and find a side bend. Exhale. So I'll show you this view. Staying for about 5 breaths, stay there. Beautiful, now let's change. Coming up and out, inhale. You're gonna pull up out of the hips, find a half split. So this can also be a moment where you grab both blocks on a lower side and extend your hips all the way back. Lengthen through the front knee and flex your front toes. Keep lengthening through the lower back. Just gently micromanaging this extension, really creating a lot of health through your spine into your sciatic nerve. To come out of the pose, we're going to walk ourselves forward and send the blocks beyond. Take your hands to the inside of your leg. And then we're going to swing the back foot and quarter turn everything to the side, coming to kneeling on your back leg. And then extend your right leg out long, turn the toes to the long edge of your mat so that the knife edge is perpendicular to the front. Rock your hands back and come up. So we're going to take our hands to our hips and make sure that our hips are squared and down. So taking the top hip and drawing it square to the earth. Good, reach the arm up and over, side bend. Over the extended leg and breathe. Good, come up with an inhale, arms high. Now float the hands down. You're going to send your hips back to reach fingertips to the earth. Walk your body forward so that your hips are positioned right above your knee. And then we're going to extend the arms out and down into a puppy pose. Connect the forehead to the mat. To come out of the pose, ground your elbows, lift your chest, walk your hands to where your elbows are, press up from the mat. Then we're going to quarter turn our body in this same position, swinging your leg behind you, back to half split. Take a breath in, and exhale. You're going to push off the back leg, coming forward into a low lunge. Blocks are available for you here. Just notice the difference in your hip after a few breaths in each one of those postures. So good, so open. And then ground the palms to the earth. Step back with your front foot, high plank. From here on, it's an option to take your chaturanga. You might just go straight to down dog and meet me there. Or you might transition with your breath. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's move for the other side, left leg high. Good, and lift and liberate the leg all the way up to the sky. So no right or wrong way for me in doing this. I just want to feel how good it feels to have that strength and lift. Now let's take it to alignment. So you take the outer edge of your hip down and square to the other one. You'll feel your leg coming down. Another inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Shift your weight forward over your wrists. Place your foot down, and you can grab the ankle. Place it up to where your hand was, into a low lunge. Tuck your knee into your shoulder on the side. Find your blocks to frame your front foot. And take a moment, a few breaths, to anchor into the front heel. Send your back heel back. And breathe. Then dropping your back knee to the earth into Anjaneyasana, top of the foot flat. Take a moment to send your hips down a little deeper. Pull your shoulders back to open up through the front side of your body. And when you feel ready, interlace your fingers on the top of the front knee. Beautiful, so you're gonna play with a little balancing here as you're drooping down through the hips, but you have so much integrity pulling up through the front side. And you'll create even more traction as you interlace the fingers, press the knee forward as you hollow out and push your hips back. Creating that 90-degree angle once again. So I'm actually gonna allow myself to walk my heel back a little bit more for that integrity in my 90-degree angle. Keep hollowing out at your chest and your lower body as you pull your navel in. And working into a side bend, you can grab your block on the highest level. Take both arms up, inhale. Exhale, side bend. Over your bent knee. To that left side. Flowering, opening, blossoming through the right. And inhale, rise both arms back up. Exhale, fold fingertips down and forward. Take your blocks on the lower angle and find half split. Walk them underneath your shoulders, flex the front toes. Most important piece of this pose is to really get the hamstring stretch by lengthening through low back. So it's okay, even if you're a little higher, instead of having a curve, pushing your navel forward and lengthening, getting the strongest, straightest spine that you can. Come back out as you tuck your toes back to the earth. Walk the blocks forward, back to Anjaneyasana. Bring your hands on the inside of your left foot, and you're gonna take that right foot, swing it back behind you, quarter turn to the other side, turn your front toes to the knife edge, and rise. I'm gonna swing around here. Connect your hands to your hips, take that top elevated hip and tuck it down so it's square to the earth. Rise the arms, inhale. And side bend, exhale. Gently coming out of the pose, using your upper arm to pull you up and out. Deep breath in. And exhale, float the fingertips down in front of you. Send your hips slightly back as you connect to the floor. Walk yourself even more forward. So you're connecting and stacking your knee right above your hip and down into the earth. Take your arms out and down. Connect forehead to the mat. To safely come out, you can press your elbows down, lift up through your chest, slide them back, then press your hands underneath you. And we'll quarter turn back to the front of your mat space, swinging your leg behind you back to half split. And even though my blocks are behind me, they could be framing my front foot here. Go ahead and walk them forward, remove them from your space. Ground the palms, tuck your back toe, come back to high plank. Deep breath in, chaturanga or nataranga, whatever works for you. Inhale, and meet us in downward facing dog. Exhale. Deep breath in, soften your knees to the earth. Exhale. Come back to seated on your heels. Take a moment in a seated position just to feel your body. Little scan from the tip of your head all the way through your chakras down to your root. Just breathe in some positive light, feeling the lightness, feeling the openness, honoring this vessel. As you've come in to your body more now. Connect your hips to one side of the earth, nothing fancy. Place your feet down on the mat, cradle your torso with your knees in front of you. Take a moment to stretch up through the spine, connect your knees to your chest and your inner thighs, to your obliques. Getting all of this extension in your lower back. Deep breath in. Chin to chest, roll through your back. Exhale. Inhale, lift up. And exhale. Inhale to lift and center. Now release your hands from one another, keeping this extension. Now find the cat back, exhale. And begin to roll through each part of your spine as you slowly and controllably bring each vertebrae down to the earth. Good. Bring your right knee into your chest. Extend your left leg out and down. Clear the rib cage. Pull your knee into your shoulder. Squeeze your elbows alongside your knee and your torso, creating as much compression you can in your front hip. Take a deep breath in. And sigh for the exhale. Ground your shoulders. This next exercise is going to link pranayama with core strengthening and hip extension and hip compression. It's your final pose and a complicated but beautiful one. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Draw your navel in. Inhale while you're here. And exhale, let your head come back down and soften your pull. Inhale, draw knee into chest. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale. And exhale. One more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. your left hand across your right side. Open up your right arm. Pull your right knee over for a full spinal twist. And you can turn your nose to the right side. And back into the center. And we'll move for the other side. Interlace your fingers around the left knee. Extend your right leg out and down. Clear the ribcage, pull the knee into your shoulder. Create tons of compression on your left hip bone. Draw the knee a little bit closer in towards the chest. Take a deep breath in. Move for your breath work here. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale while you're here. Exhale, release down. Inhale, release slightly. Inhale, draw your knee in. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, while you're here. Exhale, releasing knee. Last one, inhale. Exhale, knee to nose, draw your navel in. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, release head back down, release knee. Moving for a twist, cross your right hand over left knee. Open left arm. And breathe. Continue to soften and invite the energy of melting into your grounded place. Position your heart. When you feel ready, bringing it back to center. Take your time. As I'm your guide, but your body is your teacher. So whatever these poses are really serving you, allow yourself to sink a little bit deeper. Let's take our knees open for a final happy baby as you grab the outer edges of your feet. Pull down with your arm strength, grounding lower back. Feel the whole spine from the back of your head connected all the way to the hips. So maybe take a little rock here, side to side. Coming back full circle. Noticing the difference after a short practice. When you start to practice this on your own, it will take about 20 minutes to complete. I suggest 5 breaths in each one of our positions, and so after following along, you'll be able to guide yourself in this sequence. Another beautiful thing that I love is that we can just take this anywhere. Traveled the world with my yoga mat, and when I used to have to wait for buses or trains or planes to come, I would just roll out my mat and do a practice as simple as this and feel so good in the transition to the next place. Go ahead and find Shavasana as you connect full circle, palms open to receive. Finding your breath flow in through the nose, up to the third eye, and cascading down the back. Just notice the quality, the difference, the flow that you've created here and now. You're welcome to continue to take this time, if you have the gift of time, to remain here for 20 seconds or longer, just relishing and coming into this physical container. With integrity, with space, with breath, with prana, with energy. And if it's time to move on to your day, wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Take a nice full body stretch. Give yourself a hug, and truly give yourself a hug as you bring your knees into your heart center, tuck it in, and just honor all the beautiful things that you get to do in here as your spirit thrives. You can just roll up to seated, or you can take it over to fetal position, making a little pillow with your arm. And come all the way back into seated to close your practice. As I bring my hands to my heart center, thank you so much. I see your heart, your love, your soul, your self-compassion, and respect so much this moment to bring presence to that energy within you. As I bring my hands to my third eye, I honor and see you. The teacher within you, the guidance surrounding you, the wisdom that is just flowing through you. And as I bring my hands to the earth and take a bow, just honor this physical space, this container, this vessel, this body, and all the things that hold us and hold our hearts and spirits so that we thrive, continue to live and grow. And bringing my hands back to heart center, maybe corners of the mouth lift. Namaste. I invite you to follow along with this practice for at least 7 days in a row. After that, your patterning, your brain, the biofeedback will start to flow through you, and you can go on your own and you complete this practice within 20 minutes a day. Mornings are best. Feel free to report back to me and let me know about your experience. What opens up, what changes, what illuminates and grows within you as you begin a solid daily yoga routine. Thank you so much. My name is Chakra Rose. I can't wait to continue to work with you. Ciao.